I've always tricked out my cars, even when I didn't have enough money for gas. I'm from Detroit, the automobile capital of America, so I take pride in my rides. Back in high school, my friends used to call me Inspector Gadget because I messed with my car so much. I once had a Dodge Omni that you had to start by turning the key, pressing the gas, then hitting a switch by the clutch. It was like opening a trick door. No one could do it but me. When I got to the NBA, I bought the biggest vehicles on the market, including a burgundy Chevy Suburban I called the Icebox, and later, a Ford Excursion. I refashioned the Excursion's entire back half like a limousine, with a leather U-seat, a divider, and 2 TVs. It was unlike anything else on the road, which is exactly what I wanted. But inside the Excursion, I came to the realization I'll never forget. If you're driving alone at 2 a.m., wondering, what the hell am I going to do now? It doesn't matter what kind of car you're in. You might have expected this book to start off on a basketball court with the Fab Five at the Final Four, or maybe at the NBA Finals when I went up against Shaq and Kobe. But there's plenty of time to get to all of that. The best place to start is the day my life changed. Tuesday, February 19th, 2002, driving north on I-65. That night, the playoff-bound Pacers traded me, their leading scorer, to the Bulls, the absolute worst team in the NBA. The deal was preceded by shady leaks to the press and untruths. More on that later. But the only thing I said publicly at the time was, in every adverse situation, successful people find opportunity. I was serious. I could have taken a day or two to get myself together before I traveled to Chicago. Instead, I got on the road right away. A few days before, I had packed up most of my stuff knowing it was coming. When I got the call the deal was done, I threw it all into my truck and got on the road and drove north on I-65, straight to a hotel in downtown Chicago. The next morning, I woke up early, took my physical at 7 a.m., met with Coach Bill Cartwright at 8, and got cleared to play. That night, without ever practicing with my new team, I scored 36 points to lead us to victory over the Knicks. Win number 13 of the season. The Bulls won 3 straight games after my arrival before we spiraled back down into another stretch of losses, which confirmed what I already knew driving to Chicago. I was going to have to find something to keep me busy during the playoffs. 3 of the 4 previous years, I played basketball through Memorial Day with the Pacers. We had gone to 2 Eastern Conference Finals and 1 NBA Finals. In college, I've been to 2 Final Fours with Michigan. In high school, I'd been on 2 state title-winning teams, but the Bulls weren't going anywhere after the regular season except home. And I knew I wasn't going to be ready to go home in April. A few weeks into my time in the Windy City, I called a producer I met a few years earlier during a BET interview. She'd given me her card and told me to call her if I ever had any ideas. Now I did. The idea I pitched to her was simple: to have the show Mad Sports send me to the NBA Finals and let me report on the series. All she had to do was send the camera. I'll take care of the credentials, access, and everything else. After a bit of selling, I got her to agree. That was the start of my second career, begun while the first one was still going strong. I became a member of the media. Now, more than a decade later, ESPN pays me good money to talk about basketball almost every day throughout the season. I dedicate a lot of time to my job, but like playing basketball, it doesn't feel like hard work because it's what I want to be doing. If you've listened to my podcast with Jacoby or follow me on Twitter, you know I have a mantra for what I try to do on my job. Got to give the people what they want. What do I mean? Be honest, unfiltered, unbiased, raw, refreshing, real. Give people the type of insight and understanding they don't get anywhere else. Be an alternative in a space that is too often preoccupied with people being politically correct. Explain why conventional wisdom often doesn't have a clue. And do it all without getting fired. Millions of people follow sports every day, but too often they're reading contrived storylines that have nothing to do with the truth. People want the real story. That's what you'll get from me in this book. I'm here to share some tales and make you laugh, and also be truthful and to make you think. I hope you learn from this book, but I also hope you don't agree with everything I have to say. I want to start conversations, even better, arguments. I faced a ton of adversity and made a ton of mistakes. I've learned from all of it, and I've become a better man because of it. That said, if you told me I was going to end up here when I was driving to Chicago that night, I would have been a whole lot happier because it was February and the Bulls had 12 wins. 12.